Hey guys, good afternoon. Hope you're all enjoying reInvent. Before we get started, I just have a question for all of you. With a show of hands, let me know how many of you flew an airplane to get into reInvent. How many international? Okay. If you're flying an international, there is a good chance, 60% chance that you have flown an aircraft that had a GE engine on it. How about domestic? Close to 80%. So GE is a leading manufacturer of jet engines, both commercial as well as military. And in addition to the manufacture of jet engine itself, we are into servicing of the jet engines that we call as MRO. So MRO stands for maintenance, repair, and overhaul. In addition to MRO, we also have systems that goes into your cockpit, goes into your landing gear, and other components of aircraft. So let's get started with the introduction of GE itself. I will start with the purpose statement. We invent the future of flight, lift people up, and bring them home safely. This is a very powerful statement. If you look at the first part of the invent the future of flight, it talks about all the investment that GE does to manufacture engine that is more reliable, more efficient every year. The second part, which is lift the people up and bring them home safely, talks about the 400,000 people that are currently in the air relying on GE engines for their safety every minute. Okay? It's a humbling that I'm part of an organization that has such an impact to the society, right? You have an aircraft with a GE engine that takes off every 2 seconds, and every three quarters of a takeoff is powered by GE engines. So with that, I'll get into the crux of this presentation, that is our migration story. So just to give you a background, before we talk about why, right? So GE has been running ECC 6.0, EHP 8 for over a decade, and we support the MRO business. Again, MRO stands for maintenance, repair, and overhaul. What we do is we get the engines from the customer, strip it down to the piece parts, inspect, repair, put it back together, send it back. All dictated by FAA regulations and other regulations across the different geographies. So we have been running it with a third-party data center as a platform as a service. So why AWS? There were several business cases for it, starting with performance. So we have about 25 facilities across the world where we do repairs on the engine. Our user base is continuously increasing. We are running SAP in about 20 shops as of today. So the growth story continues, right? So we definitely needed a system and infrastructure that can sustain the performance as we get today. Second thing is the agility. We are constantly working on new deployments, new projects. This requires a landscape that can satisfy various requirements, creating a new system on demand, making a system copy on demand. Thirdly, the TCO itself, the overall cost of ownership is definitely a factor. As we grow forward, we need to make sure that we keep the TCO in check. Finally, the patching. Every month we had to do an OS patching. Took out five hours every month. Each downtime in GE equates to about $1 million or more. So it's a huge impact to the business. These were four main business case scenarios that we wanted to solve. And in addition to that, with the hyperscalers like AWS, we have the number of services that we can tap into. Definitely we saw a potential. And that's the journey we started. We partnered with TechM. We partnered with AWS ProServe to look at an option of efficiently migrating all our SAP workloads to AWS. So we took about 7 months to migrate all the systems to AWS. So our landscape included about 8 different SAP products. And if you combine all the production and non-production, about 200 terabytes of data. We have about 4,000 plus users. And the challenge we had with the outage, as I mentioned before, is definitely a factor, right? So we had to make sure that we negotiate an outage window that is having minimum business impact. So there was only one time window that we had. We had the date in mind, and we had to work backwards. So that's where ProServe and TechChem did a fantastic job of partnering with us, of putting together a plan, putting together a good a process where we can minimize the downtime. And we were successfully able to do the entire migration in 7 months. And for achieving this, we also had to make sure that we did the practice runs for 3 times, 3 mock runs. We also ensured that we tested it thoroughly. So overall, I think it was a fantastic achievement. And as we say in GE, when we do something well, it was a boring go live. We did not have anything to worry about. It was seamless. The users continued to do the thing they did as before over the weekend. So I won't go through the details of this, but I wanted to quickly touch up on one thing that was really important for us: the zero downtime patching. So I mentioned about the patching was the biggest concern for us. Every month, we took out 5 hours of outage to ensure that we keep the patching up to date. With Pacemaker on RHEL, we were able to have a zero downtime. We are seamlessly able to switch over between the different nodes, and the users do not see any impact to their use of the system. So this is one of the huge win for us with this migration. Performance is definitely up by 20%. We already see that. TCO, definitely a huge impact on the TCO, down in the tune of 20 to 30%. Big impact. Yeah, other things are pretty much standard, so I just wanted to make sure that I talk about the Pacemaker. But there were some smart solutions that were introduced in the migration using data sync so that we can keep the migration window to a minimum. We set up Cloud Endure for the data disaster recovery solution. But overall, great success story here. That's it from my side. If there are any questions, happy to answer them, or I'll be around here. Please walk in and let me know.